Halifax Mooseheads have a 23-point decline from last year. The Gatineau Olympiques are 23 points better than they were a year ago. But the same result could be on the horizon. A second-round exit for Gatineau at the hands of the Mooseheads if Halifax can win tonight. Zach Fucale will be the starting goalie for the Halifax Mooseheads. Not a surprise, the Montreal Canadiens draft pick had the best goals against average in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and he has a 1.83 goals against in the playoffs. Robert Steeves turned 21 in January. He's from Moncton, New Brunswick. He has appeared in every minute this postseason for the Gatineau Olympiques, a 5-3 record, and it will be up to him to have a big game for Gatineau to extend this series to a 6th game.
Man, this place is rocking. You could barely hear the anthem. There's people just jam-packed in this little tiny barn, and they're ready tonight.
Jonathan Drouin, he's starting out there for Halifax, up against Emile Poirier. And, of course, Alexander Carrier and Delorier are the defense pairing. But it was a good chance early for Luca Ciampini, and Steeves gets a touch of the puck in the first 16 seconds.
A good start for Dominic Ducharme's Halifax Mooseheads. Already has a MasterCard Memorial Cup ring on his resume, and you can't think about how good a job he did last year with all of the things he had to deal with. Superstars and high-end players and all kinds of personalities, yet was unwavering in his commitment to this hockey club.
Excellent first shift for the Mooseheads with Drouin out there. Mackenzie Weegar, expect to see a lot of number 52 for Halifax. He has been an Iron Man on defense for Halifax, and he has filled a lot of the shoes that Conrad Albertshauser had last year. Alexander Carrier, just 17. Pass ahead to Poirier, doesn't connect. Austin Hardy moves it to his defense partner, Matt Murphy, and Ehlers lets that one go. Delorier moves it back to Beauregard. His pounce will go right on Zach Fucale, and he'll be forced to hang on with Taylor Burke right there.
A little slow to jump on that was Fucale. Benoit Groux is the head coach of the Gatineau Olympiques, has won 3 QMJHL championships, most recently back in 2008 when he took his team to the MasterCard Memorial Cup in Kitchener. And he's had some pretty good players come through here. David Krejci, Paul Byron, Claude Giroux, and the list goes on and on for Benoit Groux.
Brent Andrews wearing the C for the Mooseheads. He's an overage player. So is Brendan Duke trying to get a shot away. That was blocked. And coming the other way is Mark Beckstead. Is the crowd at the Robert Cartan Arena starts to cheer, but Beckstead was caught by Andrew Ryan. Made sure he didn't get a scoring chance. Ehlers, he's got the pressure on Berube, but he makes the pass ahead to Beckstead. He'll dump it in, and Gatineau will get a change in.
Nice little simple play there by Berube. Spin away from pressure, get it into the neutral zone.
Look out if Ehlers gets ahead of steam going. Gatineau was aware of that. Karabacek got in front of him. Two of the great rookies this season in the QMJHL, Ehlers and Karabacek, and they are 1-2 in rookie scoring this postseason. Ryan gets a shot, and that's off a stick and goes out of play.
Well, the Gatineau Olympiques, pretty famous for what they do in the playoffs. And instead of throwing the big beards, they tend to go with the lids. They go with the blonde lids and get them all dyed up there. Guys got a couple hats on. They get the long locks flowing out the back, and maybe the best one of them all has got to be Beckstead. Now, I'm not sure, but they're what they call the Humane Society picked that dead animal off his head.
That's an old school look.
Wow.
Schumacher leaves it for Adam Stevens, and right away big Brandon Buick, number 49 for Halifax. He leads in penalty minutes in this postseason, and he has been a strong physical presence for a Halifax team that you know their stars will be targeted by the opposition.
Thought he might be suspended for this game for his actions very early in Game 4, but it wasn't the case. The decision was reversed.
Derek Shepard, he's going to get a chance. He led the QMJHL in penalty minutes this year. Halifax, they got back in time before he made that chance count. Timo Meier has it go off his stick. The open man is Shepard. Chance to shoot. The crowd wants a shot. Instead, he sends it behind the net. Jesse Lucier. He's hit by Carter Richard. Now Emile Poirier. His pass is turned over. Buick got it to Meier, and he got as far as center.
Meier's a big body guy, and when he gets going at full speed, he has the skill to be able to adapt well and be a good point producer. Just finding that consistency.
This is the big line for Gatineau. Carter for a shot, trying to spin away from Austin Hardy. Hardy didn't play in the first round of the playoffs. He's returned to this series, and Halifax needs his veteran presence in there. Alexander Carrier, he led the Gatineau Olympiques defense corps in scoring during the regular season. They haven't had a goal from a defenseman this postseason, though. Carrier can't walk in front of the net. Oh, boy, a big hit by Hardy. He finished his check on Carrier. Carrier has it, though. He's right back up, and he scores! Carrier, top shelf, short side, Gatineau leads.
I mean, just listen to this place. It's electric in here. It's a fun place to do games, but look at Carrier. I mean, he does an unbelievable job pinching down on the rush, and then he takes it to the net with that right-hand shot. He goes short side. This is a perfectly placed puck. There are bodies flying all over the place. Gattery and Poirier, Carrier took a big bump, but he responded well from it. And he gets back up. He takes it to the net, goes up top, short side. Unbelievable, right under the bar. Very impressive for the 2015 draft-eligible defenseman.
And can cross that statistic of no goals for a Gatineau defenseman in this postseason. Carrier had enough room to put a puck on the short side, and he put it exactly where he wanted to. And that gets the crowd into it exactly what the Gatineau Olympique needed. Lead pass out of the reach of Ehlers, but there will be a penalty coming up to Gatineau.
Well, this series has not been for the faint of heart. There is no question about that. It's been highly physical between both teams. You watch games 3 and 4 here at the Robert Guertin Center on the internet through the QMJHL website, and it was just nasty. And I think the nastiness has started to carry over. We saw it in the last shift right before the Carrier goal. And Dunn, who's no stranger to this type of play, administers a cross-check to Brandon Duke while he's already down, and then he'll slash to Andrews afterwards. So if it wasn't one, it was going to be the other. And that's the one thing about Dunn. He's highly, highly effective when he plays on the edge, but he's useless to Benoit Gros in the Olympiques if he's sitting in the box.
And this is a terrific power play that Halifax has. All that offensive firepower, 22 power play goals this postseason, 10 of them in the 4 games in this series. That clearing attempt went up into the rafters. So the face-off will come just outside the Gatineau line.
And this building, I mean, it's got a small roof to it. You are on top of the players. There's a huge slope here that's been outlawed by most codes in just about every province. So, you know, a guy could be sitting in the 4th row, reach over and tug your jersey.
It's one of those great Quebec League rinks with a lot of character. We were talking about it before the game. Won't be long, and all these rinks will be replaced with new ones. This one, they've agreed to get a new rink in the next couple of years. Here's a power play for Halifax, trying to tie the game. Nick Ehlers moves it back to Mackenzie Weegar. Drouin's open and has it now. Down low to Ryan. The return feed for Drouin, and he misses Weegar with his pass, and the crowd approves of that. Ehlers with that speed, trying to catch Gatineau on the chain. Zips right back into the Gatineau end. Turns in the corner. Weegar's open at the point. Walks in a couple of steps. That hit a stick and went up high. Philippe Gattery behind the net to Ryan. He keeps the puck progressing over to Ehlers. Now Weegar. Over to an open Jonathan Drouin. Takes the pass. Now back to Weegar. The shot stop. The rebound's there. And not cleared. Weegar's able to hold the line. Ehlers sends it back to Mackenzie Weegar. Jonathan Drouin takes the shot. Down low to Ryan. Now back to Weegar. Open man is Ehlers. He doesn't shoot immediately. Now to Drouin. Halifax moving it well. Gattery got a shot, but not a lot on it, and it hit the side of the net. Now he tries to cut in front. Chance for Ehlers, and he scores on the power play. The Mooseheads dominant with a man advantage, and it's tied at 1.
I'll tell you what, RJ, I was starting to get dizzy. I mean, the puck was all over the place. Up, down, back and forth, side to side. This is amazing puck movement. Mackenzie Weegar moves it to the far side. Then Ehlers has it, goes down low to Durant. I mean, this thing's going everywhere. You got to keep, it's like watching a tennis match. You get one good chance with Gattery there, and then they take it back to the front of the net, and that's when everyone collapses, and Ehlers is able to pick up the goal. Good stick lift on Gattery, but that left Ehlers open, and he banged it home and hurt.
Showed some skill there, too, kicking it to his stick before putting it in. And we are under 6 minutes in, and each team has scored a goal. All-important Game 5. Halifax leads this series 3-1. They can punch their ticket to the third round of the QMJHL playoffs with a victory. Gatineau needs to win to force the Game 6. And that is iced, so Halifax will have to come back to their own zone for a face-off. A fast and furious start here in Game 5. It's 1-1. Quick pass intercepted by Gattery and then knocked off his stick by Reebok. Mackenzie Weegar. He's been out there a lot already for Halifax. Made a nice move at center. Bumped it in as Delorier was waiting for him. Emile Poirier, first-round pick of the Calgary Flames. Terrific regular season. He was 8th in the QMJHL in scoring. Weegar will join this rush, too. Moves it up to center, and it's knocked down with a high stick.
You look at Zachary Fucale, Montreal second rounder from last year. It's amazing to think. This guy seems like a 20-year vet. 3 years, 163 regular season games, 47 now in the postseason. He's played internationally in the under-17s, the under-18s, and at the World Juniors this year. This now is 222nd game in 3 years. That's like a Martin Brodeur workload.
70-plus a season on average. That's a lot of hockey. And loves it. Chenier Allard. He was cutting down the middle into the Halifax zone, but his teammates couldn't stay on side.
Yeah, you're right, RJ. I mean, Fucale just loved him. It's funny, you know, we're talking to the coaching staff of the Mooseheads, and they said Fucale before Game 4 was really zoned in. And we saw a picture before the game of him in the hallway, all alone, bent over in that very similar crouch, eyes focused. And when he's locked in, man, it's tough to beat.
Bousier's pass picked off by Vincent Dunn. Dunn is a draft pick of the Ottawa Senators. We saw Karabacek in front of the Halifax net, but the Mooseheads, they had a mark. Timo Meier. He gets hit, knocked down by Chenier Allard. Frank Schumacher behind his net. Overager from California, plus 10 this postseason. Adam Stevens. His pass intercepted by Samuel LeBlanc. He sends it back into the Gatineau end. Schumacher again, setting up behind his net. Andrew Ryan from Paradise, Newfoundland, keeping a close eye on Schumacher, and he gets to center. Flies into the Halifax zone. Two shots off the arm of Fucale. Brendan Duke. Pass on the tape of Andrew Ryan. Walks in, let it fly, and Robert Steeves was well out to make the save and hang on.
Well, RJ, the Gatineau Olympiques cannot trade chances with the Halifax Mooseheads. They're not quite as deep offensively. So what does that mean? Getting your third forward back, and you see perfect positioning through the neutral zone. Both defensemen, Karabacek, also back there to help out. They take possession of the puck. They set up the breakout behind in their own net, and they're out of the zone just like that, thanks to the help of having that third guy in the neutral zone, chipping in and supporting defensively.
Ellie Berube. At the rebuy, he didn't waste any time making the pass to Tardif Richard. That's stopped by Fucale. And then it bounced off Mackenzie Weegar, and Fucale watched it all the way and was able to hang on.
It's a little dicey. I mean, the one thing that you could talk about Fucale in this game, there are times when he almost looks like he's having too much fun. He's a little too lax. That particular play, he tried to use the blocker to direct the rebound. Instead, directed straight off Mackenzie Weegar's nugget and right back into his chest.
Water through Ann's line against Tardif Richard's line. Rebuy behind the net. Poirier, he's battling with Austin Hardy. He'll leave it in the corner for Tardif Richard. Mackenzie Weegar takes a hit, lost a glove. Crowd like that too. Anything that doesn't go exactly right for Halifax, a cheer goes up here at the Bob. Luca Ciampini. Pass in front through Ann's there. Puck was bouncing. He couldn't get to it. Delorier, cross-ice pass. A good one to Rebuy, but he's tired and has to go off on a change. Wholesale change for Gatineau. That gives Halifax time to get to center. Ciampini has Beauregard right in his face. All he can do is move it in. Turns it over to Dunn. Berube. The center knocked down at the Halifax line. Nick Ehlers, he's from Denmark. Led all rookies in scoring during the regular season in the QMJHL. Fucale leaves it behind his net. Burke was there. Fucale had to play it quickly. Battery couldn't make a pass through to Brent Andrews. Crowd likes that too. Vincent Dunn, a couple of shots on Andrews. He was penalized for that earlier in this game. Ehlers' pass is off the skate of Burke. Tracked down by the Halifax captain and kept in for the time being. Berube has to backtrack to Beauregard. Now he deals with Andrew Ryan, but got it out to center. Brendan Duke from Cole Harbor. Ehlers wafts it in front, hoping Andrew Ryan can get there. Instead, Adam Stevens got there. Brendan Duke, he has to turn away from Stevens. Now Lucier. Back to Duke. Jean-Simon Delorier. We saw the hit from Connor Moynihan coming. The Moynihan brothers from Boston are out there for Halifax. Moynihan, as in Danny Moynihan, the older, who's 18. Connor is bigger, but he's just 60. He's number 71.
This game has grown. Both of their games have grown a lot. I mean, coming over from the U.S. and then learning more structure and having to pay particular attention to being disciplined. They've come a long way, both guys.
Derek Shepard puts one on the net. That was redirected. In tight by Deborah Gotterise. Mark Beckstead on the forecheck. Bumps his man off the puck and comes up with it. Shepard throws it in front to Gotterise. Beckstead, he had a man lined up and just missed.
And it's tough out there. I mean, you better keep your head up. You release the puck, someone's going to come after you and finish their check. And there's been a lot of stick work already in this game.
Connor Moynihan, he's at the end of the shift. Change it in. Halifax, they get all 5 players changed. Levi, he's dangerous. Leads Gatineau in points this postseason. Poirier, his pass for Carter Bouchard. That didn't get through to him, but almost got directed into the net. Just kept in at the line. Delorier. Pass to Levi. He was tied up by Hardy. Laurier couldn't keep the puck in. Gatineau's back on side. Mackenzie Weegar had his arm up in the air. He wanted an offside call. Poirier to Carter Bouchard. Jonathan Drouin checks Carter Bouchard. Puck comes in front to Dunn. He dives for it but can't get to it. Here's Drouin. Picks up the pass on his backhand. Trying to use Delorier as a screen. Leaves a check behind the net. Jonathan Drouin gets hit by Vincent Dunn. That knocked him off the puck. Poirier at center. Had Mackenzie Weegar attack him immediately. Perrier takes a hit from Drouin. Leaves it for Taylor Burke. He's from Halifax. Has to be careful. Ehlers with that great speed. Got him off and takes the puck. And then Ehlers is tripped up. There's no call coming. A quick look at the officials by Burke after Ehlers fell, and he can breathe a sigh of relief.
They don't want to give this Halifax power play too many chances. No question about that.
Beauregard backtracking into his own end. Brent Andrews was on him. Halifax Mooseheads aren't giving Gatineau much time. Pass comes back to the line. Quick move for Murphy. His shot is blocked. Comes back to Austin Hardy. He'll elect just to keep it deep. Ehlers lets it bounce to the corner. Andrews has it now. Spinning away from Beauregard. Berube in there to help out. And now Derek Shepard out there again. Benoit Gru rewarding some good work from this fourth line. Getting another shift. And Derek Shepard back into his own end. Decides to hand off to Schumacher. Shepard. Lead pass. It's a good one to Gotterise. He got as far as the Halifax line. Brent Andrews. He's checked. Schumacher moves it down to Gotterise. And now it's lofted back into the neutral zone. Timo Meier, he can't track down Cheniel Ard. He'll try to get to Schumacher. Can't do that either. Cheniel Ard is passed to Gotterise. Now Xavier Morin, number 3 for Gatineau, normally a defenseman. Benoit Drew has been playing up front in this game.
And he thinks maybe that he can get some more physicality by using a big body, get in the forecheck, and take advantage of Crevien Morin's size.
On a while now without a whistle. Austin Hardy tips it to the Gatineau line. QMJHL quickly over to Schumacher. He looks up ice. Poirier was there. Had to reach too far just to get a stick on it. A sharp angle tested through Kelly. Revi back in front. Poirier was tied up by Murphy this time.
Good stick-on-stick by Murphy. Did it within the confines of the rules and took that chance away from the Calgary first rounder.
Approaching 5 minutes without a whistle. Back and forth. The goals came early in the first 6 minutes. Gatineau got one from Alexandre Carrier, and then on the power play, Nick Ehlers scored for Halifax, and that's how we sit. 5:20 to go in the first.
14 minutes, 40 seconds into this game, and the pace has been frenetic. The skill has been evident, but the physical play has been matched by both sides. Guys throwing bodies all over the place. Ehlers taken down, and only one penalty called so far in this game, but I'm telling you, these guys are playing right on the edge. I think the officials have done a nice job keeping everything in control here, not allowing things to get out of hand, but you're seeing some stuff even behind the play that indicates just how nasty this series has been.
At a TV timeout, coaches go back to their big lines. Rouen against Tardif Richard. As for Champagny, did not get a piece of it. And that will force a face-off in the Halifax zone.
One thing Halifax has done a good job with is taking care of that top line for Benoit Drew. When you look at Tardif Richard and Poirier and Revi, I mean, they were really good in that first-round series. But now here in the second-round series, Halifax has kind of taken them out of it. And just 8 points combined for those guys. They're going to have to score.
Delorier with a good shot. Back through Cali, through a screen, still saw it and stopped it. Drouin going to the front of the net. Champagny's shot. That was tough too through a screen, but Steves answers that attempt. Revi. Back into his own zone. He'll just flip it out to the far side. Emile Poirier waits for it. Laps it around. Back through Cali. Came out. Good thing he did. Revi would have been the first man to the puck. Drouin. Lead pass. Battery. Tried to make a return feed. Mackenzie Weegar's fallen down. Trying to get back into the play. And the whistle goes on the offside. Gatineau with a good opportunity. And the offside ends it.
The Olympiques want to be very active with their defensemen, and at times that means while on the rush they jump up onto the play, but at other times it also means that the defenseman's pinching. We saw Delorier pinch, and Poirier, very smart, very heady, was the guy who came back in his position to help out defensively.
Vincent Dunn and Brent Andrews. They start pushing and shoving off the face-off, and Dunn wants a piece of Andrews, and Andrews is not going to cooperate. Dunn with 156 penalty minutes during the regular season. That was 5th in the QMJHL. Brent Andrews, the leader of this Halifax team, is willing to let Dunn take a penalty and give his team a chance at the power play. We continue to play. Beauregard sends it into the corner. Now Andrews tries to throw a big hit on Dunn. Darabonchek stick handling in a phone booth. Hanging on to it. Now moves it down low. Taylor Burke, the open man's Beauregard. Quickly across to his defense partner, Berube. Behind the net to Dunn. He tracks it down. Matt Murphy steals it. And Nick Ehlers starts away for Halifax. Here come the Mooseheads. 3 of them over the line. Andrews goes to the front of the net. Lucier off the bench. Takes a shot. That hit Ryan in front. Now it's loose to Ehlers. And he put it off the crossbar, and it goes out of play. Nick Ehlers with another great chance. And this time he just missed. He's got the lone goal for Halifax. And here he had a great chance for his second of the game. Face-off win for Gatineau. They can't get it out. Connor Moynihan sends it down low. Otter Eyes is there. Schumacher's there. QMJHL. There's 3 Gatineau players. 4 of them now behind the goal line. And they come up with a puck. Schumacher with some open ice. Works his way to center. Can't get it much further than that. The Moynihan brothers stopped him there. Otter Eyes by himself working against 2 Halifax defensemen. Made a good move, but couldn't hold on to the puck, and Zach Bucali pounced on it.
Authorized draws into the lineup. Does a great job there.
Sportsnet Magazine playoff issue is packed with the story, stats, facts, and graphics to get you ready for the NHL playoffs. Subscribe now at sportsnet.ca/magazine. NHL playoffs aren't far away, and we are right in the heart of the CHL playoffs. This is second round action. Halifax leading this series 3-1. They are the defending Hart Memorial Cup champions.
You look at Jonathan Drouin, sent back from the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it had to be a tough thing for him because he watched Nathan MacKinnon make the team with Colorado. Of course, he's likely to be the Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League, and came back for a couple of weeks and just had trouble adjusting. Felt that he should have been in the National Hockey League, but the last 2 months, this guy has been absolutely everything for Dominic Ducharme.
Champini drops it off for Drouin. His pass bouncing around in front of the Gatineau net. Philippe Gattery sends it to Uyghur. Quickly over to Hardy. Drouin's open, drops it off for Uyghur. He has to track it down at the boards. Austin Hardy. Good shot, hit a leg, didn't get to the net. Champini has it though. Wraps it around hard. This will come all the way back to Uyghur. Over to Drouin. Quick move. Now he starts to cut in and steals it from Revi. Takes a hit from Delorier. And it's out of the Gatineau zone thanks to Tardif Richard, but now it's right back in, led by Drouin. Over to the right wing side. Gattery shovels it in front of the Gatineau net. Comes back to Hardy. He gets it to Champini. Gattery, who had 20 goals in 19 games with Halifax during the regular season. He's dangerous too. He's number 28. Crowd likes that Drouin was knocked down, but Gattery got a chance. Carrier blocks off that pass to Drouin. Drouin's on him immediately. Stevens takes a hit from Uyghur. Didn't get to center, but it won't have enough for icing. Into the final minute and a half of this first period. It has been a fast-paced, physical period.
Great playoff hockey. You gotta love it.
Matt Murphy, he's a point per game in this postseason. He gets to center, but doesn't get it deep. Jonathan Bourchier took it from him, but there was Brett Andrews, always responsible to steal it right back.
And that's where Murphy has got to play the simple game. That's when he's most effective. Try and do too much, he ended up turning it over in the neutral zone.
Andrews sticks at it. He still made a kick pass to Ehlers. Oh, and Ehlers got a post again. Back-to-back posts for Ehlers. And that would have been some kind of assist for Andrews had he put that in. Halifax still tied with Gatineau. The posts helping the home team. And a penalty coming up to Halifax. Too many men on the ice.
Things really ratcheting it up here once again. And the too many men on the ice call will be made against the Halifax Mooseheads. Down to our right is where their bench is, and Dominic Ducharme, Jim Midgley, the assistant coach, yelling and screaming. There were one too many on the ice.
Oh yeah.
It is very clearly 6 players. And then just a little late getting off his Ehlers. And he literally ran off like he was going to run down the hallway because he knew that there were too many men on the ice. And so no question, when you get them all within one camera shot, that doesn't always happen. And Ehlers, who was the last guy off there, takes a wrist shot that goes off the post again. Great play by Ryan to get him the puck.
That'd be a hat trick for Ehlers if his sights were set a little differently. Just 42.8 seconds to go in the period. First power play of the game for Gatineau.
Doing the old switcheroo. They had Timo Meier in the box at first. He gets pulled out of the box, and Matt Murphy will take his place.
Had to be someone on the ice, and they tried to sneak Timo Meier in to serve the penalty. Why not give it a shot? Revi moves it to Tardif Richard. His pass hit Drouin. Still got to Revi. Being watched closely by Drouin. Schumacher. Tardif Richard. Cuts to the net. Vincent Dunn, pass across the crease. Mackenzie Weegar got a stick on it, and that prevented Poirier from getting to it. Artem Rashad, cross-ice pass, another good stick by Halifax. Kept in by Schumacher. 10 seconds to go in the period, and Halifax finally gets to it, sends it down the ice, and that will do it for the opening period, and there will be plenty of power play time. Carry over for Gatineau. There's the whistle at the end of the buzzer, and Vincent Dunn is right in the middle of things again. Power play for Gatineau to start this second period. Their first power play of the game, only had a few seconds to do something with it in that first period, so a minute 10 to go in the power play. And they will have to start from their own zone. Martin Revi, he turned 19 in January from the Czech Republic. Leads the team in scoring in this postseason. Nick Ehlers, bouncing puck, couldn't wrap it around. Mackenzie Weegar couldn't get it out. Another chance to clear. Turned over, Revi. Shot blocked in front of the net, and now the Mooseheads get to it and send it down the ice. And look out, because Jonathan Drouin's trying to track down Schumacher, and good communication by goaltender Robert Steeves to let Schumacher know that Drouin was hot on his heels.
And look out, 23 shorthanded goals scored by Halifax this year.
Karabacek into the corner, trying to get away from Brendan Duke. That doesn't happen, and the Halifax penalty kill is good so far. 18 seconds to go in this power play for Gatineau.
You know, it's been a problem for Gatineau all season long, the power play, and it's been no different here in the playoffs, especially with this sticky ice. That's exactly what happens to Schumacher on that particular play. Twice bringing it up the ice, once before the blue line and once in the neutral zone. The puck stuck on him, so when he got possession of it, he ended up icing the puck. But they called Rail Pam on, who was coaching in Ottawa, to come in and help with the power play, and it worked somewhat. But having that true quarterback, that guy who can really control things from the back end with that big heavy shot, is something that Gatineau doesn't have.
Face-off win for Halifax, and Mackenzie Weegar wisely backtracks into his own zone, play a little bit of keep away until Halifax is back to full strength, and they are back to full strength, but the puck is still iced by the Mooseheads.
So getting back to that Gatineau power play, I mean, it's something that they've worked on, and when we talked to Benoit Gru about it yesterday when we were here, he said, listen, we just really need to get back to simplifying things. And that particular power play for Gatineau, no sustained pressure at all, and that's thanks to a high-pressure penalty kill by Dominic Ducharme and the Halifax Mooseheads.
Gatineau didn't score a power play goal in Game 4. That was the first time in this series they had not got one against Halifax. 0 for 1 so far in this Game 5. Halifax leads the series 3-1. Danny Moynihan sends it down low for Brandon Hewitt. Hewitt, penalty minute leader this postseason in the queue. Murphy drops it off for Hewitt. He sends it cross ice to Lucier. Bouncing puck. Moynihan couldn't handle it. That allowed Derek Shepard a chance to make a pass ahead. Lucier couldn't dance around Lucier. Murphy, he's got good speed, wants to use it to get to center, but he didn't get to the red line.
That's thanks to Beckstead, putting good pressure on him, coming across the ice to cut off his lane as he was about to get the change.
And right away, Hewitt had a chat with Beckstead.
Beckstead comes over. Now he misses Murphy, but Murphy released the puck well before the center ice line to give the icing. Beckstead was someone that Benoit Gru talked about yesterday as well, saying, hey, this is a fast-paced series. Halifax is a fast team. We need speed in the lineup. So Beckstead inserted in Game 4 and again here tonight.
Laurier's shot is off the shin pad of Champagne. Weegar's out there again for Halifax. Philippe Gattery sends it in. Crowd reacts as Gattery's knocked down. Drouin, a quick touch pass to Hardy. Tried to go short side on Steeves. That bounced off the backboards. Back in front of the net. Václav Karabacek was there to clear it for Gatineau. Jonathan Drouin picks up the hard pass. Enters the Gatineau end. Move to the outside. Now spins back. So shifty. So dangerous. Brendan Duke can't get a shot through though. Hit by Poirier. Carrier wants to jump into the play. It's a 3-on-2 for Gatineau. Poirier over to Karabacek. Back in front. Carrier had his stick tied up. Vincent Dunn with a hard shot. That hit some bodies in front. Another chance. Mackenzie Weegar blocked it. Now Drouin has Weegar catching up. It's a 4-on-2 for Halifax. Gattery. Drouin saves Steves and he hangs on.
We talked about Gatineau's defensemen really being active, jumping up on the rush, and there's an opportunity here with 3 Halifax players caught in the offensive zone, so Carrier decides to jump and rush. It turns into 3-on-2, and ultimately the pass is too wide to Karabacek, and that gives Fucale all kinds of time to get over, and then Gattery and Drouin, 2 guys with absolutely brilliant hands combined, and that puck got stuck right underneath the pad of Steve.
Halifax wins the faceoff. Murphy had to reach back to get that puck. Did a good job, too. Andrews battling with his man Otterize. They both tumble to the ice. Ryan now dealing with Berube. Ehlers tried to move it back to the line, but the Halifax defense was in the middle of a change. Ryan knocks it down. It's a bouncing puck in Gatineau's end. Still bouncing around. Ehlers saw a hit from Beckstead. You know, number 22 for Gatineau will finish his checks. Lucier at the line. Moves it to Ehlers. His pass. Eludes Duke. Brendan Duke with some skating room. Andrews couldn't get it in on his initial attempt. Danny lofted it over everybody. Berube up to Shepard. Murphy glides back to retrieve the puck. Leaves it for his defense partner, Austin Hardy, and then he got into close quarters with Connor Moynihan. The puck's not out yet. Murphy ahead to Buick. He has trouble controlling, and Gatineau's able to keep it in the Halifax end. Another turnover. Gatineau. Shepard with a shot. Another chance for Stevens, and Fucale stopped them both. Moynihan speeding the other way with his younger brother, Connor Moynihan. Danny Moynihan falls to a knee. Gets it to the side of the net. Buick couldn't knock it down. Had to go to the corner to get it. Schumacher. That pass deflected off a Halifax player right on Steves. He was alert. One hopper in on Fucale. He's got plenty of time. Gatineau's on a change. Moynihan. Pass was waist high for Duke. Burke took it away. Taylor Burke trying to go wide on Mackenzie Weegar. That doesn't work out. Weegar made sure he didn't get wide. Emile Poirier. A good pass. He got it to Delorier. That shot's deflected. Fucale's down. Halifax defending now. Weegar puts it off the glass and out to center. Carrier knocks it down. Wants to keep this pressure on the Mooseheads.
Good step up by Carrier in the neutral zone. Boy, the Gatineau defenseman has done a brilliant job here, activating in all 3 zones.
Poirier on a turnover, got a hard wrist shot that Fucale stopped. Dunn in front of the net. Burke was tied up. Carrier sends it down low for Poirier. Gatineau dictating the play right now. Halifax hemmed in their own end. Brendan Duke to an open side. Gattery retrieves it before Carrier can get to it. Well, Gattery picks up some speed. A bank pass to Jonathan Drouin. Gattery right back in the play. Ciampini's in front of the net too. Drouin to Murphy. High shot. It's too high. Jean-Simon Delorier. Martin Revi waiting for his teammates. They need a change. He gets checked at the Halifax line by Drouin. Now Jonathan Drouin gets it to Murphy. He might get another chance to shoot. Instead, he just sends it behind the Gatineau net. Berube. Pass picked off by Andrew Schufelt. Timo Meier, 17-year-old from Switzerland. He's number 96. Got it to LeBlanc. His shot missed the net. Back and forth we go. It's a high pace here in Game 5. Karabacek makes a nice move, but it didn't fool Lucier. Revive. He can't stick handle away from LeBlanc. Stays right on him, though. LeBlanc having trouble getting away from Revive. Lucier to the open man. It's Weegar. Now Meier. Sends it into the Gatineau end. Schufelt tracking down Berube. Karabacek has it bounce away from him. Halifax takes over. Austin Hardy. Lead pass to Timo Meier. Puck bouncing around in that Gatineau end. Beauregard looking for it. He collides with Meier. Simon Tardif-Richard. He can't get to center. Ehlers steals it. Saw the hit from Crevier-Morin coming and sidestepped it.
There's no question that Crevier-Morin was given the message that you need to play physical. He's already come out with a couple of big bumps in this period.
Beauregard with a head of steam, but Austin Hardy's with him stride for stride. Beckstead moves it back to the line, gets the return feed. Wants to have Crevier-Morin work hard down low, and he collides heavily with Austin Hardy. And a penalty coming up as bodies are colliding into everybody out there, and it looks like it will be Gatineau going to the power play. 1-1 power play when we come back. Arctic Spas is pleased to announce the second grand prize winner in the Watch, Win, and Soak contest. Audrey Durkach of Vernon, BC has won a Midnight Sun hot tub. Enter now to win great weekly prizes or the top prize, a $26,000 Arctic Swim Spa. Visit arcticspas.ca or hashtag #SoakToWin. Contest closes May 18th.
Halifax Mooseheads will be down the man, and it's Andrews who gets the stick up on Beckstead. The shaft of the stick up into the grill of Beckstead, so the captain for Halifax is off, and also essential here for Gatineau to have some success with the extra men.
Vincent Dunn wins the faceoff. Got it back to Levi. Now Tardif-Richard tries to go to that backdoor play. Poirier was open. Halifax, they position their sticks well on the penalty kill, at least on the first Gatineau power play. Levi down to Dunn. Can't tuck it in short side. It comes over to Poirier. He drops it off for Simon Tardif-Richard. Spins away from Ryan. His pass goes off Hardy, but Tardif-Richard got it right back. Levi slows things down. Tardif-Richard takes a shot but missed the net. Schumacher over to Levi. Schumacher, a hard pass. Tardif-Richard tries to go cross ice again. Poirier slashes Mackenzie Weegar's stick out of his hands. And that will be a penalty to Poirier, and Vincent Dunn better be careful. He might be getting one here too.
And Dunn's just trying to goad Weegar into a fight, and the Halifax players have been disciplined when Dunn started to run around. That's only cost them one penalty so far, but Poirier chasing this loose puck down. After he gets an opportunity that misses, he hacks Weegar, part out of frustration, part out of wanting to get the puck. And that results in the penalty. Wow, that is... I mean, Hacksaw Jim Duggan would be proud of that.
The good news, if there is good news, that didn't hit the hand of Mackenzie Weegar.
All kinds of difficulty if that were the case.
So we will play 4-on-4 for a minute 10. Murphy. That shot is way too high. Karabacek. Head to Jonathan Boursier. Boursier, 17-year-old rookie. He's from Gatineau, number 26. Karabacek works his way into the Halifax end. Alexander Carrier. He can't find the target with his blast. Boursier behind the net. And Murphy's on him. Danny Moynihan chops at it, and it will come out to the neutral zone. Alexander Carrier scored the lone goal for Gatineau so far in this game. The lone goal for a Gatineau defenseman this postseason. Carrier wants to head to the front of the net. Has it in the corner. Carrier waiting until a change is made by Gatineau. They're able to keep it in the offensive zone long enough to get that change in. Nick Ehlers, he knows there's a ton of room out there, and if he can get his speed going, that could be trouble for Gatineau. Here he goes now. Nick Ehlers straight up the middle. Dumps it in. Off the boards. First man to it. Beauregard gets a piece of Ehlers. Battery hurries to keep the puck in. It's a power play now for Halifax. Andrews is back on the ice. He served his penalty. It will be an abbreviated man advantage. It's 36 seconds to go, and it's Gatineau who's trying to create something shorthanded. That didn't materialize. Ehlers brings it into the Olympique end. Cleared down the ice by Gatineau. Kokali with 20 seconds to go in the power play. Slides it ahead to Mackenzie Weegar. Jonathan Drouin. 10 seconds to go in the power play. He's checked in the neutral zone, and now Zach Fucale banging his stick on the ice, warning his teammates. Not much time to go in this power play. Be ready. Battery takes a hit. It comes to Andrew Ryan. Bouncing puck. Stolen by Shepard. Murphy had him lined up. Shepard tying up the puck in front of his own bench. Halifax able to dig it loose. Andrew Ryan leaves it for Philippe Gattery. He ran headlong into Deborah Gotterize. Pass is redirected by Gotterize. He can't get to it in the Halifax end. Zach Fucale out in plenty of time to leave it for Matt Murphy. Murphy has Shepard watching him. Fans on his first pass. Brought it out to the neutral zone, but Gatineau's back in the attacking end. That's off the head of Fucale. A high shot from Beckstead, and it goes out of play. Still 1-1, Halifax and Gatineau. 8:16 to go here in the second period. All the scoring was done in the first 6 minutes of the first period. Brandon Buick. Gotterize hits him. He'll go in on the forecheck. He felt was there. Berube moved it over to Beauregard. Nobody's wasting any time when they get the puck. Everybody's flying out there. Buick with a hit on Beauregard. They're going to have some words.
Well, Buick is the answer to what Dunn has done for the Gatineau Olympiques. He's going around. He's challenged a couple of guys to fight. It hasn't quite worked out. Buick's a guy who'll drop the gloves, but those two haven't been matched up as such yet on the ice. I'm sure it's coming there. And Beauregard is a tough guy in his own right. Takes a big bump from Buick.
You know, it's intriguing that you say that, Sam, and maybe Benoit Gros knows that too. And Vincent Dunn is an important player for Gatineau. He can produce a lot of points, and that would not be a good trade-off for the Olympiques.
Well, and he stayed away from that matchup. He's got Shepard out there a few times against Buick.
There's Dunn now. Got a great scoring chance that was thwarted by Fucale. Timo Meier stole it along the boards. He could only get as far as center. Burke hits Murphy. Brendan Duke's pass. He saw Meier up there by the Gatineau blue line. Moynihan. Burke stepped in front of him. Bouncing puck. Dunn retrieves it. Moves it to Schumacher. Emile Poirier. He bumps with Duke. Burke in the corner. Poirier to Dunn. Benoit Gros changing his lines up a little bit. Poirier out there with Dunn and Burke. One-on-one. Timo Meier against Alexander Chenier-Allard. Schumacher came back. Halifax in the midst of a change. Martin Revi. He just flips it to center. Dunn all over Gattery. Austin Hardy. He won't shoot at the net. Elects just to wrap it around. Drop right back out to center.
Quite a different period from what we saw in period number one. I mean, the pace was unbelievable in that first period. You couldn't expect them to keep it up.
Karabacek, he's got some pace. Over to Revi. One-time shot was wide of the net. And then it comes to Zach Fucale. He gathers it in and gets the whistle.
This game featuring several NHL draft picks. It's that time of year when draft positioning is about to be established. Jonathan Drouin, the highest of those picks, third overall to Tampa last year. Fucale goes in the second round. Mac Weegar, a real nice pickup for Florida in the seventh. Brent Andrews going back to 2011 with Nashville. Poirier, a first rounder, one of three for Calgary in last year's National Hockey League draft. The other from this area, Sean Monahan, and the third, Morgan Klimchuk.
Adam Stevens. He can't poke it past Andrew Ryan. Brett Andrews is in there as well. Those two are big bodies, and they win the puck battle along the boards. Brendan Duke. Big shots off that blocker of Steves, bouncing around to his left. Olympique gathered around their goaltender. Can't get it out yet. Now they do. Boursier pokes it away from Lucien. Oilers trying to steal it in the attacking zone. Now Andrew Ryan steals. Tapping for it's Lucier. Redirected by Ryan. A big save by Steves. Nick Ehlers. Beauregard's on his back. Ehlers shielding Beauregard from the puck. Then kicks it loose to Andrews. Two Olympiques were in front of the net, Berube and Boursier, and they prevented Andrews from getting a chance. It's loose for Ehlers. Knocked away from him by Beauregard. Oh, Ehlers just got crunched by Beauregard. And there's a penalty coming up to Miguel Beauregard.
That's a pretty hefty elbow right there.
It's for sure one penalty coming up. And it looks like a Halifax power play when we come back.
Miguel Beauregard went to camp with the Boston Bruins this fall, and he gets called for a check to the head. I mean, this is about as vicious as you can get. Beauregard 12, leads with the elbow, finishes with the elbow. I mean, it doesn't get any more clear cut than that. That's a dangerous play. That's the type of plays that hockey's been talking about for the last 4 or 5 years to eliminate from the game. Period. End of story.
It is a 2-minute minor to Beauregard. Power play for Halifax. Officially, the Mooseheads are 1 for 2 on the power play, but that second one was only about a 40-second man advantage. So this will be at the most a 2-minute power play for Halifax. This man advantage looked so good in the first period when they scored their goal. Mackenzie Weegar gets it to Drouin. Gattery pokes it past Carrier. Ryan's in front. Gattery walks in. He tried to go short side, but Steves had that covered. Drouin back to Mackenzie Weegar. Puck bounced on him and comes out to center. Drouin waits till his line mates are onside. Now they are. He can't make a pass. Taylor Burke keeps an eye on Drouin. Jonathan Drouin. And his pass picked off, and Gatineau not letting Halifax set up.
They're doing a great job at the blue line, taking everything away at their own blue line.
Mackenzie Weegar drops it off to Drouin. This seems to be the entrance Halifax likes to have. Now some time to make something happen for Drouin. Crowd starts to boo when Jonathan Drouin gets the puck. Mackenzie Weegar to Drouin. There's the boos coming again. He tried to make everybody a little quieter. There was an opening on that high far side, too. Variation juggling. And he's taken to the boards by Ryan. Drouin back to Weegar. Gattery. Ryan can't get a stick on it in front. It comes to Drouin. 20 seconds to go in this power play. Weegar and Drouin switch spots. There's the shot. They score! Jonathan Drouin! And he lets the crowd know that he heard the boos and gets the goal. Another power play goal for Halifax. It's 2-1.
Just deadly, this power play for the Mooseheads. I mean, coming into the game, operating at 22.1% in the regular season, 41% here in the postseason. And Drouin sees a perfect opportunity on the one-time shot. He adjusts his shot mid-flight, and by doing so is able to tuck it in. I mean, that's skill at its highest. It looks like a very simple play. He adjusts the shot midstream and then tells the crowd to quiet down after the power play marker.
That is 22 straight games in which Jonathan Drouin has registered a point. This postseason, he's averaging 3 points per game. Every game he's played in has been a multi-point game. And that's his first of the night, so you'd have to think there's more from him coming. Into the final 3 minutes of the second period. Gatineau trying to answer back. Xavier Morin can't find the loose puck in front of the net. Beckstead's on it. Things away from Lucier, but Lucier still manages to get a big chunk of them and knock him down. Hewitt to center. He likes the dump and chase game. QMJHL will take the hit from Hewitt. Xavier Morin bounces the puck to center. Deborah Goddard is by himself against all 5 Mooseheads. Likes to dump it in. Halifax moves it toward the line. Buick a chance to clear. It's not out. Levi. Stick handling with three Mooseheads looking at it. Levi maintains possession. Hard up Richard. Drops off for Levi. Walks in and shoots. And Zach Ducali flashes the glove, makes the save, and keeps his Mooseheads up by one.
Martin Revia is so slick, and I think he was at his best, RJ, playing at the World Juniors. He has come back to Gatineau, and since that time has been good, but not quite as electric. Here, steps into the slap shot. He's got a tag for the glove side, but Ducali's way out at the top of the crease to take away that angle.
Gatineau wins the faceoff. Comes back to Delorier. He can't find a clean lane to get a shot through. Since the Halifax goal, Gatineau spent all the time in the Halifax end. They know they need an answer. They're facing elimination. Levi spins back to get some speed. Dumps it in right on Ducali. He'll take that in the Mooseheads logo and hang on.
Jonathan Duran with that power play goal for the Halifax Mooseheads. February 9th, until they just scores points, goals. I mean, it's been an unbelievable run for this guy. And, you know, some people have talked about the guy being too good for the Canadian Hockey League. And while that might be the case for Jonathan Duran, it doesn't happen very often. I'll tell you what, he's learned how to take face-offs. He's learned the defensive responsibilities of playing center.
Good chance off the face-off, but Halifax, they converge to knock that puck out of play. Continues that.
Yeah, and getting back to Duran, I mean, it's about facing adversity. It's about being sent back. It's about adjusting. It's about taking over the leadership role that was left by some of the guys here in the past, whether it's Fournier or McKinnon, Trey Lewis. And so all of these things combined here to bring Jonathan Duran back into the Canadian Hockey League. And I guarantee you, every single one of those elements will help him in his National Hockey League career.
Looks relaxed and not tired at all. That's good news for Halifax. They expect to have a lot more hockey ahead. Taylor Burke reacts from what appeared to be a high stick. There's no call coming. Now the puck lifted out of play.
He becomes the #1 enemy wherever he goes, Jonathan Duran, and now he'll step out there. And here's one area. You're talking about the final minute 22 of the period. You're protecting that 2-1 lead. Jonathan Duran wants to be the guy to go out and take those face-offs. Well, Nathan McKinnon wanted to be that guy at 16 years old. He wasn't quite ready for that, but he took them all last year as a 17-year-old. Now that's what Duran's doing here as an 18-year-old.
Duran, his first year as a centerman. 46% in this series on the draws. Duran has it. Tight quarters. You know, he can stick handle out of a mess. Set up Hardy with a good chance. He was looking short side. Steve's had it covered. Carrier. He can't get to center. Has to turn back. Gattery was right there. Champini steals. Moves it to Drouin. Gattery heads to the front of the net. Drouin buys some time. That time evaporated with Carrier right on it, but Gattery a steal. It's in front of the net. It's poked in. Champini got to it. Drouin was there too. And it's 3-1 Halifax. They get a goal with 35.9 seconds to go in the second and lead by 2.
Preston Broadhead said that every time Drouin gets into a game, he gets multiple points. Well, he'll get an assist here. He and Gattery working. This is a really good play by Champini, who tips the puck, and that disrupts the timing of the save right here because Steves comes out for the poke check, and once he does, he uses great hand-eye coordination, does Champini, to knock it the rest of the way in. He earned that point because Champini was getting pounded by Revia in the corner. He got pounded by Delorier. He came back and backtracked in the neutral zone and then went all the way back in and scored the goal. He earned that one.
I'd like to say I could tell the future, but Jonathan Drouin in multi-point games in the playoffs, pretty easy guess. 20 seconds left in the period. Andrews moves it to Ryan. Andrew Ryan. Halifax, they want a little more before this period's done. Puck bouncing around at center. Penalty coming up to Gatineau. And as Berube touches the puck, the whistle will go, a high sticking penalty. It's coming up with 2.3 seconds to go, so essentially it will be a power play in the third. Now Vincent Dunn has positioned himself in front of the Halifax bench. The officials get there right away to escort him back to his own bench.
Poirier gets caught behind the play with Brent Andrews and gets the stick up into his grill. You see as Andrews heads back up ice. There's the one by Poirier, and then the stick right here. And that's right in front of the official. So, you know, if you're Gatineau, discipline is going to have to be a key in this game. It's 3-1 right now. Just time for a quick face-off here, but at least the power play to start the third for Halifax.
Halifax has 2 power play goals in the game, lead 3-1. Face-off win. They're going to get a shot. Ehlers banned on it, though. A good face-off win by Drouin. Almost created a last-second chance, but a good finish to the period for the Mooseheads.
Yeah, it sure was, RJ, and I think, you know, those are those situations when you're Gatineau, you got to think about discipline, you got to think about puck management. Had a chance in the neutral zone to clear that puck, it didn't work out. It's a 3-1 Halifax lead with 20 minutes left.
Should be a good third period here. Our Friday night hockey CHL playoff coverage will continue next week. Next Friday on East Ontario, West and Pacific. We'll be getting into the third round of the playoffs by then. So the elite are matching up now. Now, we'll flash back to last week, Sam. You take it from here.
Max Domi with the goal. He had been booed all game long by the Guelph crowd at the Sleeman Center, so he gives them the librarian. And, well, Jonathan Duran must have been watching Friday Night Hockey because he does the same thing on this power play goal. The librarian Selly, they call it. Tends to quiet the crowd down, especially when it's the visiting team that gets it done, and especially when it's one of the most hated players that the visiting team brings into town.
And isn't it fascinating that those star players so often are able to score when the boos start happening?
Raising your level. 2 first-round picks. Max Domi to Phoenix. Tampa Bay's Jonathan Drouin.
This is an important start to the third. Halifax with their great power play. 24 power play goals this postseason. 2 of them tonight. They're on a power play to start the third. Already up by 2. They can make this game a little more comfortable with a goal here. Jonathan Drouin takes the shot. Goes back to Mackenzie Weegar. Hit a leg in front. I believe it was Beauregard and went wide. Weegar doesn't shoot this time. Moves it to Philippe Gattary. Weegar over to Drouin. Back to Weegar. There's a shot stopped by Robert Steeves. Beauregard, he just gathers it in, takes it to the end boards. Halifax not letting him freeze it there. Not letting him hold it. They dig it loose. Comes to Ehlers. Still a minute to go in this power play. He put that shot through about 3 players, and it missed the net. Eludes Mackenzie Weegar. A little sticky at center ice after the flood. It's warm in the Robert Gaertan Arena, so the water not freezing as quickly as normal.
And it's funny, we saw a promotion on the intermission where someone tried to shoot at the distance. It went about 4 feet and got stuck in a puddle on the ice. It was hysterical.
It's so close he could reach and haul it back in and take another shot. 20 seconds to go in this power play. This would be a big kill if Gatineau can do so. Timo Meier. His blast is stopped by Steeves. Kicked it to the corner. Simone Tardif-Richard down the ice. Right on Fucali. He wants his forwards to get another chance. Threw it right up to the Gatineau line. Levi has it poked away from him. In front of the net, Andrews was tied up. Couldn't get a shot. Murphy lets a flash go from the line. Steve stopped it. And now Gatineau's back to full strength. And that was important for them to not allow Halifax to get another power play goal. They're within 2 with almost a full period to go.
John and Rob talked about it at the intermission. I think discipline's going to be really key here.
And just as you say that, another penalty coming up to Gatineau.
And that's not good, the way Ryan's holding his left arm. That is not a good situation.
It's Vincent Dunn who will be getting... No, it's Vincent Dunn doing the talking. It's Poirier who's getting the penalty.
And it's Brendan Duke. I see Poirier just jam him, and that's what hurt him, was going into the boards afterwards. After Poirier had just shoved him from behind, he went into the boards with that left shoulder, and that's the one Duke was holding when he came off the ice. He's gone down the runway.
Another power play here for Halifax. Gatineau playing with fire. Uyghur to Drouin. Loses it, but still had time to gather it in. Moves it down to Andrew Ryan. Used the big body. He was stopped by Steves. The clearing goes into the Halifax bench. This power play is brought to you by Power Rock. Get charged up.
You know, you like those guys who play on the edge, and that's going to play in the National Hockey League level, but you have to know when to take your foot off the pedal. In a situation down 3-1 in the third period, if you're Poirier, puck's not around, Duke. There's nothing happening in the neutral zone. That's not a penalty you can afford to take.
Gatineau losing their composure a little bit. Halifax trying to take advantage of it. Nick Ehlers. Over to Jonathan Drouin. Gattery scores. Philippe Gattery couldn't handle it initially. He finally did and put it into the net. Another power play goal for Halifax. That's 3 with a man advantage and a 4-1 lead.
And another point for Jonathan Drouin. I mean, he's just so shifty, so smart with the puck. He delivers the puck like a pro. Ehlers has it. He sees Drouin. Drouin knows the entire time what he's going to do with this puck. He knows he's got Gattery in a soft position, but he just needs to find the proper time to get it there. It's a simple little toe drag to avoid the stick check. Onto Gattery's taped into the back of the net. It goes. And the Halifax Mooseheads have jumped out to a 4-1 lead. 7 for 15 in the first 2 games in Halifax in the power play. It took a bit of a dip, but it's back here tonight.
That's 28 goals in 28 games as a Moosehead for Philippe Gattery. His 4th point of the night. He has quietly gone about having a magnificent Game 5 here in Gatineau. QMJHL tried to bank it off the backboards to Beckstead. It's been one of Benoit Gru's better lines. They've worked hard with Beckstead, Otterise, and Crevier-Morin. Not the skilled offensive guys, but they've spent a lot of time in the Halifax zone. Brendan Hewitt moves it back to Lucier. 16 minutes to go. Halifax up 4-1. 3 power play goals. Drouin with 3 points. Ehlers has a couple of points. Mackenzie Uyghur has 2 assists in the game. Gatineau is a tough team to play. They're a physical team. We've seen that tonight. They make it difficult for opponents. And that is why Halifax wants to make sure this season this series does not get extended. And it's good to see Brendan Duke back out there.
It's good the way he was holding his left shoulder. And here's Poirier, some of the frustration of the power play. Can't get it. Delivers an elbow to the head of Andrews. Continues with a high stick. Then that shove against Brendan Duke. So Poirier's a first rounder. I mean, he got his reputation. He was drafted in the first round for playing that similar style last year in the playoffs. 10 points through 2 rounds and 10 games. And playing with that physical edge. But again, it's when do you draw the line and take your pedal off the metal?
Jean-Simon Delaurier. He skates away from Gattery. Rabacek redirects it into the Mooseheads end. Mackenzie Uyghur drops it off for his defense partner, Austin Hardy. Gattery poked it to center. Rabacek has it poked off his stick by Ciampini. Look out for 28 for Halifax. Philippe Gattery with 4 points tonight. When you're feeling it and you're hot, they just seem to go in. He was looking for a turnover in the Gatineau end. Zach Fucali, he'll make the safe plays now. Any Olympique around, he'll freeze the play.
You look at the dynamic duels throughout the course of the Canadian Hockey League playoffs. Drouin and Ehlers leading the way with 47 points. How about Sam Reinhart and Jaden Descheno and Kootenay? Unbelievable. Bjorkstrand and Leipzig tied at 42 points. Beat Pouliot and Lear, Revi, Tardif Richard. So Oftentimes you get those two players and sometimes more that are able to step up offensively for you, the best in the Canadian Hockey League in this game here tonight.
Kelly moves it to Murphy. Revier Morin trying to catch it. Doubled it to center. Taylor Burke. He's working hard to make something happen. Dunn was in front of the net. Couldn't get a stick on the puck. Connor Moynihan. QMJHL took it away, and then it harmlessly rolls to Steves, but he will hang on.
You can't blame Steves. I mean, he's been at the mercy of this Halifax power play, so there's no question that he's done, all that he could do in goal, and it's just been, to this point, the simple lack of discipline on the part of the Gatineau Olympiques that have put him in some very compromising situations. But you can't argue with a guy who last year started the year injured, came back right around Christmas, and he's been the top dog here for Gatineau the last year and a half.
Mark Beckstead has Shepard with him, and Shepard was a half stride offside.
Beckstead spent the 2012-2013 season with Kingston in the Ontario Hockey League at 53 games, put up 14 points, and then was waived through the league, picked up by the Gatineau Olympiques. And you'll see, actually, both of these teams have dipped into Ontario to find players, be it in Tier 2 or cast off from other major junior teams, OHL teams, that come to the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League and have had success.
Hewitt with the puck now. He's from Hamilton, playing on Halifax. He didn't get to center. Wound up icing the puck. The faceoff will come back to the Halifax end. They are up 4-1 in the third. The MasterCard Memorial Cup is coming up quick now. May 16th to 25th. It will take place in London. We know the London Knights will be there as the host team. They have their hands full. They're facing elimination tonight against the Guelph Storm. Guelph, the #1 team in the Ontario Hockey League. And it is a 1-goal lead for Guelph. That game just starting the third period. So the London Knights need a big period to keep their season going as far as the playoffs are concerned. They have that host ticket. Here we go with Gattery looking for his fifth point of the night. Stopped by Steves. The rebound went to Gattery, and he batted it out of midair, too. Another chance. And look out now. Uyghur's in there. Carrier's in there. Champini. Laurier. Levi.
Levi's played with quite an edge in his game here tonight. It's not usually part of his program. Gattery does a great job with a simple chip here off of Champini. Able to chip it to himself. Tries once, tries twice. It Steves in the breadbasket the second time. Diving back was Revi, and then you can see why Uyghur got ticked off, because Revi got up into his grill, and that's an element of his game we just haven't seen throughout his career. But he's playing with a burr under his saddle in this game tonight, so Uyghur will head to the box for Halifax. Revi will go for Gatineau. And by all accounts, I think they're going to offset. Uyghur's is up now. And there'll be an extra deuce for Halifax.
Gattery going in to serve the extra. So it will be a power play here for Gatineau. Karabacek. Back to QMJHL. Bounces it in front of the net. Murphy kicked into the boards. Karabacek. Way in. That's blocked in front and goes off the score clock. The older building, score clock's a little bit lower.
Maybe 30, 40 feet off the ice here at the Robert Gartin Arena. One of the old relics, and it's been awesome to be here over the years. I remember coming in the final against Halifax, going back to the 07-08 season. Brad Marchand sat out the final game there. These two teams have met each other a few times over the years.
Saved by Fucali. He redirects that out of play.
And you get an atmosphere like few others. I remember being here in 2011 when they played against St. John's, and there was issues with the ice. And, coming into Game 3 of that series, at the backside of the building here where they're going to build the new barn, they're tailgating at 5 o'clock. And not just like 3, 4, 30, 40 people. I'm talking about a couple of hundred people.
It's been a good atmosphere in here, except the fans haven't had much to cheer about. Alexander Carrier scored 3:45 into the game. And then at that point, it looked like Gatineau might be in good shape to force a game 6. Halifax has scored 3 on the power play, looking short-handed here. Jonathan Drouin working his way to the net. He'll spin away and elect to keep possession. Flips it out into his own end. Austin Hardy moves it to Nick Ehlers. Now Jonathan Drouin. He sends it the rest of the way down the ice. The final minute of this power play for Gatineau. Both these teams could use their player that's in the penalty box. Uyghur for Halifax and Revi, their leading point getter for the Olympiques. Ruben. Lucier. Carrier doesn't shoot. Crowd wants a shot. They keep yelling for one. There it is. It's on the goal line. Lucier scooped it off the line just in time. And now we might be getting a penalty here, too. And it's Shepard asking for what? So Derek Shepard will be heading to the penalty box.
Off the Berube shot, I think everyone in the building thought this puck was in, but it was only on the doorstep. And Lucier comes in from behind, does a great job tucking this puck under Foucault. I mean, Shepard's there for the deflection. That's what forced the puck underneath Foucault, and then you see Lucier, with Coursier bearing down on him, tuck the puck right underneath Foucault. Shepard obviously frustrated with the shot in the head, then retaliated thereafter, and he ends up getting the lone penalty on the fray, a roughing call.
It will be 4-on-4 for 33 seconds, then Halifax will get another power play. They've scored 3 times with a man advantage. Carrier, the 17-year-old defenseman. Great future for Gatineau. 4-on-4, so that pass that didn't connect goes for icing.
Carrier's older brother, William Carrier, who saw at the CIS University Cup playing for the McGill Redmen. Had a nice run through the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
Face-off win. Duke doesn't shoot. Moves it to Murphy. That hits some traffic in front of the net. Danny Moynihan back to Murphy. That one's right on and sits there for Steves, and he covers up.
And there's Carrier at it once again. These things got some potential to get testy down the stretch. When you look at what happened in games 3 and 4 and just how some things have crept into this game in terms of teams' lack of discipline. And then you always worry about that situation in an elimination game. We saw it in the Portland-Victoria game at the end of last night.
With 10 seconds to go in 4-on-4. Halifax getting the alignment right. Jonathan Drouin directing everybody where to go. Face-off comes to the boards. Delorier moves it to Burke. He sends it over to Beauregard. Now to Delorier. And now it is an official power play for Halifax. Stevens moves it down to the Halifax end. There's a minute 15 of power play time here for the Mooseheads.
The goal here might be able to salt this one away, and so also important here for Gatineau to get a stop.
I got a Twitter message from the social media expert with the QMJHL. He said their name for Nick Ehlers is the Dashing Dane.
The Dashing Dane.
He just took a big hit behind the net. It's one thing we've seen from Ehlers. He's been targeted a bit, but he gets right back up. Short-handed chance. Tardif Richard. Austin Hardy, and Hardy was able to find another gear and get to the puck before Tardif Richard could. Hardy won a MasterCard Memorial Cup championship with the Mooseheads and showed a veteran heady play there. Stevens, short-handed. Goes wide, puts it off the side of the net. Stevens gets it back. Andrew Ryan intercepts. Last rush here for Halifax on this power play. Murphy ahead to Drouin. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Drouin skates away from Stevens. He has to be tired. Drouin, a toe drag and a shot. Steves makes the save. Stolen by Gattery. Berube eliminates him from the play. Gattery and Berube behind the play, slashing and whacking each other. And Gattery is going, and it looks like Berube's heading to the penalty box too. Coincidentals coming up, 4-on-4 when we return, under 10 minutes to go in the third.
That's horrendous.
Well, you certainly don't want any punishment coming that might keep any players out of a potential third round. 4-on-4 right now.
And then the other part of that is the incitement. Are you going to incite something coming back the other way, and then you put more players at risk?
Ehlers is out there with Murphy working down low. Delorier steals. He's the defenseman points leader for Gatineau in this postseason. Duke trying to deal with Stevens. Dug loose by the captain of Gatineau, Taylor Burke. One-time shot. Schumacher missed the net. Ehlers takes a hit from Burke. Puck pops loose to Beauregard. He let a howitzer go. And there was Zach Fucale, who made a save, didn't allow a rebound.
Fucale's so calm back there. And over the last 3 years, when things have gone awry for the Halifax Mooseheads, they just rely on Fucale. I mean, his mindset, other players talk about it. He's an intellect, book-reading, school guy. Really excited to sign his contract with the Montreal Canadiens. And, you know, first-round pick is what everyone had him pegged as last year. I think he's a steal to go in the second in Montreal.
I have to agree with you. Halifax would agree, too. Carrier. Back to Revi. Lucier bumps with him. Comes up with a puck. Revi not giving up on the play. Back with Lucier down. Lucier loses a stick. Revi lost his, too. Both looking at the refs for penalties. Nothing coming. Drouin putting on a clinic right now. Stick handling. Duke was hoping to get it to Drouin. Instead, it's a 2-on-1 coming the other way. Karabacek. And what a comeback by Mackenzie Weegar. He was caught up ice, trying to create some offense, and he came back to break up that 2-on-1. Brendan Duke over the line. Tried to take a shot. Not sure where it was. It was caught up in some equipment. Now Dunn might get a chance. Saucers it to Delorier. Zach Fucale comes across and makes another save. He's there when they need him. Gatineau still trails by 3. That would have certainly helped them. Break to within 2. There's still over 7 minutes to go. Alexander Chenyay-Alar. He doesn't connect with Dunn. Stolen by Murphy. Meyer at center has to come back to get it. Moynihan knocks it down. Now he gets knocked down by Dunn. A shove from Moynihan, and you know Dunn has some words for Moynihan after that.
Now Dunn just broke a stick over Danny Moynihan. So he'll get called for cross-checking. I mean, there's the type of discipline. You can say what you want about a 4-1 game against the Halifax Mooseheads at this point, but the wheels are starting to come off here for Benoit Grou's Gatineau Olympiques. Now here's Dunn. He takes a run at Moynihan right here. So Moynihan responds, and now Dunn chases him down the ice. And as the play continues, Dunn has him in his sights, and what does he do? He breaks his stick to cross-check. Breaks his stick. Nasty. This entire series has been nasty.
Vincent Dunn takes a penalty, and Halifax, with just over 7 minutes to go, is on the power play again, looking for their 4th goal with a man advantage.
And here's the thing you balance if you're Dominic Ducharme. Do you throw your #1 power play out there and say, hey, quit taking advantage of our players, or do you kind of sit back and say, we're happy enough with a 3-goal lead?
#1 power play. Guys are going to take penalties like that. You have to make them pay.
#1 power play it is.
You bet. Drouin back to Weegar. Weegar has to hurry. Made a pass to Drouin. Handled it in his skate. Moved it to Gattery in the corner. Weegar setting things up on this power play. Drouin takes the shot. Blocked in front of the net by Carrier. All kinds of cross checks going on between Ryan and Carrier in front of the Gatineau net. Weegar fakes the shot. Pass comes in front. Drouin gets to it. Penalty killers are getting tired. Drouin to Gattery. Ryan trying to reach it, but instead it's Robert Steeves who comes up with it and covers it up.
Carrier having words with Ryan. Carrier already wearing a letter, but he's a captain in the making, no question. I'd say as early as next year he'll be wearing the C for Benoit Group.
57 seconds to go in the Halifax power play. Second unit comes out with Champini, Andrews, Timo Meier, Matt Murphy on defense, and Drouin stays out. Jonathan Drouin with a goal and an assist in this game. Waits for Meier to pop open, then put it on his tape. Delorier steps in front of Meier. Pass comes back to the line. Drouin wasn't there. He'll glide back into his own end. 30 seconds to go in this power play. Still some boos rain down on Jonathan Drouin. Meier got it to the corner. Drouin comes up with it. Takes the shot. That's stopped by Steeves, and he hangs on for another whistle with just 14 seconds to go in the Halifax power play.
You know, Drouin's an interesting story. It's not like he's played his entire career here in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. At one point was playing AAA midget with Lac St. Louis, and realized halfway through that season that I'm not sure if I'm good enough or not. Well, he made the decision to come to Halifax, and it was pretty evident that he was good enough.
Third overall by Tampa Bay. And he has a multi-point game in every game in this postseason for Halifax. That's 9 games. He's on a 22-game point streak. He might be too good for this level. 4-1. Halifax leads. Time now for the hardest working player of the game. It's brought to you by Ryobi One Plus 18-volt system. 1 battery, 50 tools.
So we'll head to Nikolai Ehlers, who goes skate to stick to pick up a goal. Very effective on the rush. A simple spin play to get it to Lucier, and that would lead to another chance where he goes off the post, and then working well on the power play with Jonathan Drouin, Philippe Gauduri as well. It's been that kind of night for Nikolai Ehlers, and that's why he's made a huge rise in the National Hockey League Central Scouting ranking. A guy who at the start of the year was a fringe first rounder. No question he's a mid-first rounder, if not early.
Yeah, certainly when we talk to scouts, his name gets brought up. And he's going to see another round at least of playoffs. 5 minutes to go. Better not speak too soon. We were doing an American Hockey League game, and Travis Green's Utica Comets. Of course, Travis Green was the coach of Portland last year. They had a 3-goal lead with 1:39 to go and wound up losing that game in overtime. So with 4:41, there's lots of time to score 3, apparently.
They give up 3 goals in 46 seconds, 2 of which were short-handed. And that was it. They ended up losing that game 6-5. Yeah, something else. When you look at these respective coaches here, and Benoit Group, you cannot say enough about what he's done for this organization. And you know he'll have a team ready for the 14-15 season. Good at end here tonight.
Delorier takes a hit from Champini. Drouin banks it out to center. Delorier tracks it down. Moves it over to Carrier. Back to Delorier. Stevens to Shepard. Delorier doesn't shoot. Carrier might. Passes in front. Shepard was tied up by Champini. Drouin steals it from Delorier. Look at the puck skills he's got. Fun to watch when Drouin gets going. Not if you're Gatineau, though. He is tough to contain. So crafty.
Yeah, okay, I've had enough. I'll just flick it over the glass.
Yeah.
Go home. I mean, the stick skills are amazing. I mean, it's like a big metal ball on a magnet. He just does whatever he wants with it. It's fun to watch. Another big year, over 100 points for Drouin, and doing it all without Nathan MacKinnon. So if you ever thought for a second you needed a sidecar, he's answered all those questions this year.
It is compelling that you bring that up, Sam, as a chance here for Gatineau. They can't make it click. That was the big talk last year. Does MacKinnon need Drouin? Does Drouin need MacKinnon? They both proven this year that they are good on their own.
Yeah.
But even now with Ehlers, there's some talk, is he as good as he is because of Drouin? And maybe that question was answered last year.
Yeah, that's a really good question. When you look at the franchise playoff record, career goals, 30 assists. I mean, he just continues to amaze. He continues to dazzle Jonathan Drouin. And you know what? It'll be Ehlers who will have to answer those questions next year for the Halifax Mooseheads, because Drouin won't be here.
I've got a hunch he'll be just fine. He keeps progressing like this, he might not be here either.
Yeah, good point. All it takes is one good summer, a little luck, and getting drafted by a team where there's an opening.
3 minutes to go in the third period. 3-goal lead for Halifax. A 3-1 series lead for the Mooseheads. Gatineau needs to dig deep now. QMJHL moves it ahead to Beckstead. He'll send it in deep on her ice. Behind the net. Well, it's Crevier Morin. He couldn't get a shot away. Here come the Mooseheads. Brendan Duke. He tries a shot. That's handled by overage goaltender Robert Steeves.
The Halifax Mooseheads have been an offensive juggernaut here throughout the course of the playoffs. In the regular season, averaged 4.26 goals per game. That was second in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League to Val-d'Or, and in the playoffs, they've stepped it up even more.
Battery showing he can handle the puck pretty well, too. Stick handling in the attacking zone. Now, Halifax maintains possession as they back into their own end. Carrier. And now Taylor Burke into the skates of Shepard. Picked it up nicely. Stevens with the bouncing puck. Gets it to settle. Got it to Burke. Missed the net with a shot. Mackenzie Weegar leading the rush for the Mooseheads. He's played a lot in this series. He needs a change.
Played in the PN before coming to the Halifax Mooseheads last year, so he's got 20 friends and family in the stands here tonight.
Minute 45 to go. Murphy ahead to Gattery. He'll go off on a change, as will Drouin. Mikel Beauregard. Finds Otter Ice. Crevier Morin. Can't get a shot on net. Brendan Duke. Head to Andrew Ryan. Brandon Hewitt. Puts one on Steeves, and Steeves hangs on to make another save. It's a minute 21 in what appears to be his final game in the CHL.
Philip Gattery was another guy who started the season with McKeon. He shares the same agent with Mackenzie Weegar, Jesse Lucier, Matthew Epps. And so there was an opportunity where he thought he was going to play at Northeastern University. His prep school grades weren't going to transfer over, so he's going to have to sit out. That didn't quite work out. Halifax makes the call. He's here, and he's been awesome for the Mooseheads.
Cardiff Richard leads in his overage campaign, trying for one last rush. Austin Hardy not making that easy. Carrier steps in. Shot was off a stick. Comes to Revi. His pass finds Hardy. Schumacher, number 2 for Gatineau. He's the other overage player on the Gatineau Olympiques.
Came over from Shawinigan for Pasquale Kane in the 5th-round pick in 2015. Back on the 5th of December. He's originally from Michigan, and since the 09-10 season has played for Saginaw, twice Sudbury, Niagara, Omaha, Fargo, Shawinigan, and now Gatineau. That's 2 countries, 2 leagues, 3 states, and 2 provinces. The well-traveled Frank Schumacher.
Here's Schumacher. 2 Mooseheads lined up in front of him. Still tried to get the shot through. It did not work out. A slashing call to Austin Hardy coming up. That was behind the play.
Time slowly chipping away here. The final 48 seconds of the season for the Gatineau Olympiques. Steve Hartley, son of Bob, on the right with Dominic Ducharme, the head coach of the Halifax Mooseheads. And there's the inevitability of a season coming to a close here for Benoit Gru's Gatineau Olympiques.
Simon Tardif-Richard takes the face off. Classy move by Benoit Gru with all his overagers out there. Of course, Steve's the goaltender. Walker, the defenseman, and Simon Tardif-Richard, who was second on the team in playoff scoring. There he is with the puck. Moves it back to Carrier. Carrier takes a look ahead of him. Can't get a shot through. Moves it to Richard. Tardif-Richard down low to Burke. Spins and fires. Good tally. Another save for him. Carrier. Schumacher can't shoot. Tardif-Richard pass across. There's a chance. Another save for Cali. And the crowd rising to its feet as the buzzer goes, saluting the Gatineau Olympiques and the Halifax fans that are in attendance, giving a nice ovation to their Mooseheads.